Hi Home Talkers, how are you today? I'm Sharon and I blog over at I Restore Stuff, and right now I'm carrying an icy cold drink in my Home Talk mug because it is so hot here in Australia. I think we've had one of our hottest summers on record, and I was away for most of it with my family in the USA, and I even got to go to the Home Talk headquarters in New York City and visited Hannah and all the wonderful team there. And so they gave me a lovely cup, and I'm sporting my Home Talk t-shirt, but we're ready for another DIY demo today. So get ready, because we are going to be using this drawer here that I've got from an old dresser, and we're going to make it into some kind of storage crate. I won't tell you exactly what we're doing because that's all part of the surprise, but while we're waiting for a few more people to join us, why don't you tell me where you're tuning in from? I'd love to know where you're tuning in from all over the world. To get started, we are going to be looking at casters. Now, that's what I'm going to do, is put casters on it to start with. So the other thing I need to do is remove the little hardware here, because painting is going to be involved. But when I went to choose some casters for this drawer, and if you're going to be choosing casters for a project like this, you need to remember that this wood at the base of the drawer is always quite thin. So ideally, you want to put on something like these ones here that have a metal plate, but even so, you've got screws that are going to come up through the drawer. So I had to find a solution. The other thing is that there are 3 different types of casters. There's these flat plate ones. There's also ones with a bolt that will come through, and then the bolts from the top side of the drawer. Or I found these ones, which are also meant to be for furniture legs. So they sit into the shaft of the furniture leg and do it that way. But out of the 3 types of options that I had, which was not a lot of options at our hardware store, I really liked these for the beautiful copper edging. Let me just open this so you can see, because we're going to be using it. And they come with this, which I don't know what it's called, because, hey, we're winging it here. Doing casters, DIY. Don't judge my DIY skills, people. Where are we tuning in from, Shireen? Has anyone said?
Yes,
where we're coming from today?
Have got people from all over the world. We've got people from the UK. We've got people from Aussie, from Sydney.
Hello, UK.
And all over.
Hi, Sydney, Australia.
We have someone from Slovenia.
Watching. Hi.
Brazil.
Awesome.
Canada.
You
Iceland.
guys. You know, that because DIY is something that isn't just stuck to one country. There's DIY people all over the world who just want to do things yourself, get a project done. Well, here's an easy one. If you've just joined me, we're going to be turning this old dresser drawer into a storage thing. So we've chosen the casters that we'd like to use, and they're these ones because I like this copper thing. So to do that, because these casters, if I poked them in here, they would stick straight up and we'd have them sticking out this far in the top of the drawer. So I found some blocks of wood, and I've cut them to size to be able to fit them right about here in the drawer. And I've pre-drilled my holes because I just wasn't game enough to do that live here on Home Talks DIY. But, you know, there are plenty of great home talkers who are doing great drilling, expert jobs at drilling. But I thought I'd pre-drill them. It also saves me on time. So what we did was I found something that would be just a little bit easier to shoot the shaft through, and it wouldn't poke all the way up inside the drawer. If you understand what I'm saying, send me some likes, because I hope it's all making sense to you. So I have started with that on another drawer here, and I've also removed the drawer handle, which we're also going to tidy up. If you can see that, it's actually quite old looking. It's looking a bit ratty, and you can love that antique look or not. But I decided we'll paint that with a little bit of metallic paint. So I've got a couple of paints here at the moment, and I've got a bronze, and I've also got a copper. So to match in with this, I thought I'd kind of do a base of that and do some of this on top to make it a little bit more matching in with the casters. So I'm just going to put a little bit of the bronze one onto a paper. And just get a good old paint. And now you can see I'm not being perfect with this. This is going to be the base colour. And then, like I said, I'll go over the top with the copper colour. So, if you've just joined us, we are also going to be doing a giveaway. Don't forget. And I'll give you the giveaway question in just a minute.
They've actually got the giveaway question.
Oh, they've got the giveaway question up there.
To the top of the...
Awesome. So at the top of the comments section, there's a post pinned, and the giveaway question for today is, what have you made over? That's correct, isn't it?
Yep.
What have you turned into storage? So if you can post those ideas, what you've turned into storage, in the comments section, you will be in the running for... This is what I also got in New York at Hometalk headquarters while I was there. Can't believe I actually got to go. Is a DIY tote bag. Totes DIYing that. So you can win yourself a tote bag from Hometalk if you enter the giveaway question. So the giveaway question again is, what have you made over into storage for your home? Would love to see your clever answers, even your not so clever answers, whatever. We'd love to hear what you've made. Is there any of those answers coming in yet, Shireen?
So many answers.
So many answers.
I'm struggling to keep up with them all. There's some amazing ideas.
Please give Shireen a hand and, slow down with those comments. No, go for it, guys. That is so good. I'm so glad that you're all willing and able to, because what it does, it inspires other people for other storage ideas as well. And you also get a chance to win a prize. So I've done the bronze, and I'm just going to let that dry a little minute while I go on with my next step. Remember, we were putting these casters onto the bottom of the drawer. So to do that, you'll notice I've created these little blocks here, but just to make it so it's not standing out so much when we go to do our painting project, I wanted to match the base stain, which I haven't matched exactly. All I did was found some stain that I had lying around on hand, and I'm going to be using that to stain this block of wood. Now, to stain any wood, it's the best idea is to probably use a glove, and you can either brush it on or you can use a rag to put it on. And believe it or not, I could not find a right-hand glove, so I found a left-hand one. You can use, any glove, but I'm going to use a left-hand glove on my right hand. Please tell me that's not too crazy. Does that look too weird? That is going to, yeah, okay. Laugh at me. I'm using a left-hand glove on my right hand. So, Shireen, stop laughing at me. It works. Look, see, I'm still staining and it still works. So I just couldn't find my right-hand glove. So I have a special staining glove, rubber glove, so I don't get my hands all stained. I probably should put a left one on because I feel like I'm going to get it on there as well. So if you can see, I've just put a bit of stain on my cloth and simply rubbed it on. If you've never stained a project before, this is a quick way of doing it. And you know that when you get onto this, what I'll call it the end of the wood, you get to the end of the grain and it's a lot harder to get that stain in the little grooves, and you'll find that it does actually go on darker. See, we've got a great big dark patch there. But, however, I am not going to be too fussy because that's likely to be a part that we're not even going to see underneath the drawer when we've finished putting the casters on. So I'm not going to stress about it, and neither should you. All right, what sort of things have we got commenting on ideas for storage that people have made over into storage in their home?
We have some amazing people with really clever ideas.
Yes.
Quite a few people have done things like turned a trunk into a storage of some kind, linen storage.
Yep. Oh, yes.
I think we have kind of a glory box idea here.
Yep.
Someone else turned a cheese wheel, a large cheese wheel, into an ottoman with storage in it.
What? A cheese wheel? So I'm imagining a big, like, Lazy Susan type cheese wheel?
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds awesome.
Someone else actually turned a Lazy Susan into a jewellery holder.
A jewellery holder.
Yes. So you can
that
just
sounds
spin it
great
around
too.
and choose your necklace.
Oh, fantastic. There's some great ideas. Keep them coming because you could win a Hometalk tote bag. If you've just joined me, I'm Sharon and I blog over at I Restore Stuff. The Hometalk people will put those links in the comment section so you can jump over. And if you want to share this actual live DIY to your page or to your friends right now, you can actually hit the share button, share it. It'll be still streaming live for you because you'll just jump back right where we left off. So I've already attached 2 of these casters here, and I would love to say that I thought of this idea, but my husband had to remind me to mark the corners, front right, rear right, so that I put them in the right place, because Sharon did not centre the drill holes. You could do that. That would be a really expert DIY idea, to centre your drill holes, but I didn't. I was just, doing this on the fly. So I've got to remember that this is the rear right, and that's going to go here. And this is the front right, and the little corner marks that it goes up in the corner just like that. So, but before we do that, I'm going to attach the casters first. You can see these ones are attached here, and they swivel. This one is a little bit tighter because the drill hole was a little bit tighter for the shaft to go into. If you've got any questions, don't ask me questions about casters, but if you do have questions as we go, please, by all means, and I'll try my best to answer them. So what we have to do is place the shaft inside the blocks that we've created to make our base stable and sturdy, and hammer them in. Going to make a big sound. I don't want everything to fall off the table. I'll do it on the edge here. There we go. And so those little teeth kind of grab into it. Gosh, there's something about whacking with a hammer, isn't there? Bring it. Okay, so we've got the hammer. Smash those in. And now our caster pegs will fit into the shaft of the hole. And they kind of slide in, and then what's going to happen is this little bit here will poke through the shaft and come out the other end. So there we go. And once it's snapped through, you're not going to be able to pull that back out because that's the way they're made. So once you've got it in, it's in place and good to go. Pop it through, ready? Snapped through, and now it swivels nice and easily. But like this one, I said, is a little bit tight, and there's not much I can do about that now because I made a little mistake. And I needed to just drill that hole a little bit wider. So now we've got to attach these to the drawer, and like I said, we've specially marked the front right. It has to go in this corner here. And what I've also done is I've pre-drilled some little pilot holes for the screws to go in, so that when I put the screws in, they're going to sit, they're going to not take as long. And I'll put that over here. I'm going to hang my casters off the edge. Let's see how this works. I'm just going to do that. Got my drill, no, what is this called? Screwdriver bit. So I've put a screwdriver bit. You know what, I'm just going to put it over here because I think that'll be closer. Sorry, now that you've moved. We have the screws. We have the caster ready to go. And at the end of the drill, I've actually put a screwdriver bit in here to help me screw them in instead of, doing it by hand. So this is really heavy. Maybe that's a little birthday present I can hint for, or Valentine's, is a nice, light, girly drill. How about that? So I've pre-drilled the little holes in here so that the screws can go in. I've got to put it up nice and straight so that we don't get crooked screw holes. You got that, babe? Got my handyman husband here judging my skills. No, he's not. He's taught me everything I know. No, probably not either. Okay, so we're just going to go really slowly. Oh, good. Yeah, this is working great. Yes, it is. Yeah, not like that. Of course, what can go wrong? Okay, we've got it. Got the screw in, people, yes. Don't look too closely. And we'll do that with the other one. Just getting your fingers out of the way. All right. There we go. See? Not going to go anywhere. How are we going, Shireen? Is there more people coming in from other parts of the world, or we've got any questions?
People are very impressed with your big biceps and big drill. Right.
Thank you very much, people. I will. No comment. My big drill is really heavy. So if you can see in here, the shaft right here, because it comes through the block, you can see it on that side, it actually pokes up. So I've drilled a hole in there for that to poke up in, which also makes it nice and stable. Hang on, where is it now? I've lost it. I've got to line it up. Okay. And I had it right there. There we go. So we line it up into the hole and ready to screw those in. So don't forget our DIY giveaway question is, what have you turned into storage in your home? If you've just joined us, you could win a Hometalk tote bag. So let us know your answers, and we're going to pick a winner at the end of our broadcast.
So here's a few of the other ones that are coming in. Unless you're about to drill.
No, hang on. Nearly. Okay. Fire away. What other ideas have we got there?
Well, this is actually one of the most interesting ones, and I'm really trying to imagine what it would look like. Jessie has turned a rake into a necklace holder.
A rake?
Yes. So I'm thinking
wow.
she's maybe using all of the little prongs of the rake to hold necklaces.
Wow.
Someone else has turned one of those really giant wire spools into an outdoor table.
Oh, okay.
Someone else has made a screen door into a jewellery holder. So I'm thinking it must be one of the rattan screen doors, and they've put little hooks on it to hang their jewellery on.
Wow.
I thought that was pretty good.
So many great ideas. I hope you... I hope you'll be able to pick a winner with me, Shireen, because there's some great ideas there.
I'm thinking of the things I can go home and do now.
Yes, there you go. Absolutely. We'll have some more of those great ideas coming up soon. Okay, so like I said, I'm painting the door handle here, so I'll just go back to this step because that has dried already. Like I said, it's super hot here in Australia, and I think we're having record heat wave, and I don't have air conditioning, but I have my trusty fans right here behind me. I'm just going to get some of this copper. And like I said, I'm trying to match a little bit more the coppery feel for the bottom of on the bottom of the casters. It's got a little copper edge there. So I'm just going to add copper to the top of the bronze in a really rough manner. Not going to be too fussed about how good this is. But at least we've tidied up the look of the handle, and it's not so rusted, etc., etc., if you like that kind of look. So I'm not going in every little space, and if you wanted to, you can actually I'll use a clean part of this rag, just rag off little sections of it just to distress that a little bit to make the bronzy area show through. You could also add a little bit of antiquing wax or something to kind of get it a better match to that. So we've done our handle and we'll let that dry. Next step in our process of creating this drawer is going to be to paint. So what I'm going after is that whitewashy kind of barnwood look, and to do that I'm going to use milk paint. Now, milk paint, if you've never heard of it before, there's several different brands. Today I'm using Miss Mustard Seeds milk paint, and it comes in a powdered form. So I don't know if you comment if you've ever tried to use milk paint before. It's lots of fun if you know how to work it properly. And I am going to find a scoop, because what we need is water and powder. Very easy to mix. And to make the paint, you can also make it into a stain, but to make a paint, you use equal parts powder to water. We really don't need a lot for this project, and I'm probably okay with just using one scoop, but I'm going to put 2 in just because it will mix a lot easier for me for this purpose of show and tell, DIY demo, and we're making this into a storage crate. So then I add my water. So I've got 2 scoops of powder, 2 scoops of water, so equal parts powder to water. If I wanted to create a stain, so you can use a dark colour milk paint. I'm using one of the whites, Miss Mustard Seed's Farmhouse White, and it's a lovely off-white colour, not pure white, but it's just a really beautiful colour. So today you can either, give it a bit of a stir around. You can stir this with a spoon, or you can use a little, like a mixer. It's just like a little coffee frother, which I'm going to use today. So I'm just getting it a stir first, and then give it a little mix. And we don't want a lot of air bubbles, so when you're mixing the milk paint, just tap it along the bottom. That's one of my pro tips I'll give you right now, so that it doesn't splash up everywhere. So I've put it in there, made it hit the bottom so it stops it spinning around, and you're just going to tap it up and down so that it's not splattering everywhere and creating lots and lots of air bubbles. So milk paint's actually one of those really ancient forms of paint that has been used for hundreds of years, made from 5 all-natural ingredients. So it's non-toxic and it's very environmentally friendly, and you could probably eat it, but I wouldn't. So it's all natural. Made from, it's called milk paint because one of the ingredients is casein, the protein part of the milk. I think it's got limestone in it, and some other natural stuff. So this is the white. Once you're done, you can just wash that out in some water. Now, to get our barn boardy kind of a look, let's put our little drawer knob. How's those ideas going, Shireen? They're getting more. Don't forget the giveaway question. If you would like to comment on what have you made over in your home to use for storage, write it in the comments, because we have a prize on offer.
I think it's the tote bag, isn't it?
Yep, tote bag. Hometalk tote bag.
Well, we have had some. This is one of my favourite ones so far. Is Karen has taken a picture frame and some chicken wire, put the chicken wire over the picture frame, and turned it into a hair bow rack for her daughters. Oh, that's a lovely idea. So she can keep all of the hair bows. Yeah. As we know, they get scattered all around the house. They do. Someone else has taken a drawer similar to what you had there and turned it into a little bed for their dog. Oh, yes. Cute. I don't know about the wheels. Storage for the dog. Storage for the dog. No, that's a great idea. Yeah, because it keeps the dog bed out of the way, keeps it off the ground. And wheel it away. Imagine. Yes. If you had wheels, you probably might need brakes. Yes. Really, right? Maybe not wheels for the dog bed. That would be cool. Someone else has made a wine storage rack from a retro stereo console, which I thought that would look fantastic. That sounds great. Wow, keep those ideas coming, and we're going to pick a winner at the end of our broadcast. If you've just tuned in, we're creating a storage crate from an old dresser drawer. So if you've got dresser drawers lying around, don't know what to do with them, there's another idea for you too. If you have a different idea for a dresser drawer, add that to your list of things that you have done and made over in your home for storage. So I blog over at I Restore Stuff. I'm from Australia, where it's really hot right now. Okay, so you can see the milk paint there. You would think that it would be really watery, and it does have a fairly runny consistency, but once you paint it on, it's just got such a lovely primitive kind of texture, I like to call it. So what we're going to do is just brush a lot of that excess paint off onto the paper, because what I'm going to do right now is drag the brush across the grain of the wood to create like a fake barnwood looking, I don't know, what do you call it? Whitewash finish. So the other thing I'm going to do, actually I'll just leave extra paint on there right now, because what happens, and I forgot to mention too at the beginning, that I haven't really done a lot of prepping for this piece. I didn't strip the varnish off or anything like that.
So what you need to do then, you look at your piece, and if it needs a little bit less paint, while the paint's still wet, drag a cloth across the paint, and you've got a lovely whitewashy kind of finish there. How's that? Check that out. So, what was I saying? Yeah, if you've got too much, rag it off. If not enough, you can always add more. Oh, yes, so I have hardly prepped this at all. I've just done a little quick sanding, so a really light grit, just to roughen up the surface because you want your milk paint to stick to it. The back of our drawer, let's do that, because that's quite raw. It doesn't have a real varnished finish or anything. So I'm just going to dip the paintbrush in, and I'm just going to put this straight on. So because this surface is quite, to me, it feels porous, and if you've been painting furniture for a while, you can kind of tell your different surfaces. This one's got no varnish on it, so I know that the paint is likely to soak in there, and we could need a second coat. So we're just going to play that by ear. Wow, this is drying so fast. It's a super hot day here in Australia, like I said, and things are drying really fast. But see how much I can just rub that with the rag, and it just distresses it back a little bit till we've got a nice little barnwood finish. What else would you call that finish? Let me know in the comments. I call it barnwood or whitewash, lime wash. Maybe they've got some other ideas. Shireen, are people calling it different things all over the world? What would you call it? Let me know, people. Okay, going over that again. So we're on the second part of the drawer here. I'm just lightly brushing, and I haven't even wiped it off this time because I think we've got plenty on the brush, enough to do this look. Let me know what people are calling this look. Restoration hardware is another kind of term that people throw around there for like a whitewashed look.
Yeah, whitewashed or weathered.
Yeah, weathered.
Distressed.
Yep, and there's several ways of doing this too. If you look online of how to do a distressed or weathered look, you'll find so many different ways. This is just one of the ways that I'm using today, which is using milk paint. I'm using Miss Mustard Seeds milk paint, and just ordinary, I've got a natural bristle brush, but you could probably use any brush to do that, and a rag, and you can just rag that off a little bit, and we'll have a look and see. As you can see, whoop, got some extra over here on the front. That's drying quite quickly. I can touch that, rub my hand along it. Because it's so thin, it'll dry really fast. So that's drying well there. Now, onto the front, and we're going to do the same thing with the front. If you've just joined us, I'm Sharon, and I blog at I Restore Stuff. And welcome to this Hometalk DIY live today.
Sharon, just a quick question. A couple of people have said, would that paint work on most surfaces of things that you would like to change into a storage item?
That's a really good question. So I'm using it on wood right now, and raw wood is actually the best surface for you to use it on. However, you can use it on other surfaces, and I know Miss Mustard Seeds milk paint has a bonding agent, and there are other paints that do have a bonding agent that you can add to the milk paint to ensure that it's going to stick to that surface. So then you could paint it on metal. I've used it on metal, glass, all kinds of stuff. I've even used it on fabric. You know, fabric's going to soak it in. So there we go. I'm just going to... Whoop, there we go. It's coming off a little bit more on this surface because I think the front of the drawer has been a little bit more varnished than the sides have. But that's looking great. I'm really happy with that. What do you think? So then I'll just go around the tops, and you can do the inside of the drawer. Let me know, what would you do on the inside of the drawer? You could do it with this same weathered look, or you could do something else with the inside of the drawer. What ideas have you got there? Would you paint it a contrasting colour, a bold colour, or leave it wood? See how I've just gone across the edges there? And once again, just using a rag to rag off any excess the wood bits there. Okay, so looking fabulous if I do say so myself. We could go ahead and do the inside of the drawer there, but for now I'm going to show you, I'm going to do stencil on the side, both sides in fact. And I'm going to use this lovely stencil here, and this is another, Miss Mustard Seeds Milk Paint has this, they've just come out with this range of stencils, and it's actually brush strokes. So, I don't know, Marion Parsons is a blogger. She blogs at Miss Mustard Seed, and I've loved her work for a long time, so I follow her, her blog. And she actually has these beautiful hand-painted, folk-arty kind of designs on her furniture pieces. And so she's taken the actual brush strokes and created stencils from them, which is so awesome for people like me who are not artists. I'm just letting you know that right there. I'm not a very good artist. So then I can have this, you know, beautiful hand-painted look on my furniture without too much effort. So if you are a pro at stenciling, if you're not a pro at stenciling, this video is for you, this next step, so that you can see the best way to do stenciling. Now, you should probably put some painter's tape here to hold it firmly in place. So you can do that. I'm just not going to do that today. But what I'm going to do is show you how you can stencil without getting all the paint bleeding in underneath the stencil. The best idea is to brush off the excess, which I'm brushing off the excess on a piece of paper here, and so that it's quite dry. Because if your brush isn't dry, you're going to get that paint seeping underneath the stencil, and you won't have nice crisp lines there. So I'm going to do a swirling motion, or you can do this, which is called stippling. But you can do either way, as long as your brush, the key to good stenciling is dry brush. So if there's still too much, if you can still squeeze out paint on your paper, like I'm doing there, there's still a bit of paint there, then you've probably got a bit too much on your brush, and you risk having it go underneath the stencil. So, stencil like a pro, people, and hopefully I'm doing it justice, because, you know, we don't want to see any little marks bleeding, and you should get nice crisp lines doing it this way. So you can either stipple like so, and if you didn't notice, I'm using exactly the same paint, but because I'm actually putting this over the top of that other barnboard whitewash layer, that was a thin layer. This is going to stand out because it's going on a little bit thicker. So I'm purposely making the design stand out on the drawer. And we'll see, all will be revealed. But you could use a different colour for this.
Sharon, can you mix paint styles on top of that, or would you be best to stick with the same paint, the milk paint?
Oh, so that's a good question. So they're probably asking, I'm assuming, is this right? Can you mix, say, milk paint and chalk paint together?
Yes.
And milk paint and fusion paint? I say, and I have tried it, as long as it's a water-based paint, there should be no problem. So you could, in fact, mix two different types of paint together. I have done that quite successfully before. If you want to try that, experiment. You know, get a small sample bit of wood, mix up a couple of different colours, but make sure that you are following the manufacturer's instructions, and don't mix an oil base with a water-based paint, and you should be fine. Was there any other suggestions of what they would like to do inside their drawers? Has anyone come up with some? Lots. I was asking that before.
Yeah, lots of good ideas. People putting burlap inside it.
Yeah.
Putting like a contact liner or a nice paper liner.
Yep.
A lot of people thought it was a great idea to paint the inside a completely different colour.
Yes.
Yeah, like a really bold colour on the inside, just to give it a different
That's
look.
a great idea.
So, yeah, quite a lot of ideas for the inside, but everyone wanted to do something with it.
Yes, I know. You can't just leave it plain, can you? And you do see there's little tiny screws at the bottom, but, you know, you're going to put stuff in it. It's a storage thing. So as long as it's flat and it hasn't got things poking up inside, I think that's great. I'm just going to show you the reveal of the stencil here to show you the painted finish. So, ta-da! There we go. beautiful stencil on the side of the drawer. Now, once that's dried, we could even lightly distress that if you want a more distressed look. But I'm loving that design. It's just such a simple, natural design. And I don't know if you can see, but you can actually see it looks as if it's the end of a brush stroke there. Little feathered end there. So let's do it again on this side. If you missed that one, let's just do it really quick and I'll show you how super fast this is. And Shireen, we need to pick a giveaway person really soon, don't we? How are we going for time? We need to... Our giveaway question was, what have you transformed in your home to use for storage? And we've gotten such great ideas and we want to hear some more because you could win a tote bag from Hometalk. They will send it to you, our winner. And we have the just really horrible job of picking one because they're all so good. So I'm relying on my friend Shireen over here to help me out with this one.
There's actually so many ideas that I'm thinking I can go home and redo my whole house for storage.
Shireen's going to go home and redo her house and make lots of storage compartments out of all your ideas.
Yes,
that is great.
We need some good storage in our house. Here's a great idea that I really liked from Jessie.
Yes.
When her children were little, her father had made a change table for the babies. And when the babies grew up, she actually turned the change table into toy and book storage.
Oh, fantastic idea.
So she got to keep the item that her dad had made.
Oh, how beautiful.
But still got to use it with the older children.
That's a great idea. Use it with the older children. And I'm sure then when the older children become teenagers and then leave home, she will find even another... I would just not get rid of that. If my dad made it,
keep it.
That's the kind of thing you would keep. And I'd love to know what she's going to do with that when all the kids leave home. You could do any kind of storage, couldn't you? That's such a fabulous idea.
Someone else turned a wine rack into a storage for their rolling pin collection.
Oh my goodness, someone has a rolling pin collection.
Someone has a rolling pin collection.
Oh, wow.
Needed to store it, put it in a wine rack.
There you go.
Very clever.
That would work. Same shape. Well, sort of, rolling pin round.
Yes,
fits in the,
I think it's a great idea.
You know what I meant. Okay, and ta-da, we have another stencil on the side. So that was easy peasy. Like I said, if you wanted to, you can distress this a little bit more. If you felt like you needed to sand it back a little bit more, don't have my little sandy sandpaper, but you can actually sand it a little bit more if you felt like it needed to be sanded off. I'm going to add our handle back on now because I think it's ready to roll. And Shireen, we're going to have to pick a winner out of our awesome lots of people. If you have just joined and missed a lot of this DIY, it will be playing back again on the Hometalk page, and I'm going to be sharing it over on my page, I Restore Stuff, so find that on Facebook. I'm right-handed, so let me just do this right-handed. So yeah, you'll be able to look back at the video. It will replay again at the end. And also, don't forget to subscribe to Hometalk's Facebook Lives because they have some fabulous DIY bloggers who actually come on and show you all these super cool ideas. And you can get to view the videos again and again. But I love the live vibe because we get lots of people interacting and commenting, and just using my pliers because this is a really old-fashioned drawer knob that has a bolt kind of thing at the back of it. All done. And there we have a beautiful storage. And while Shireen is picking a winner, I'm just going to go ahead and paint the inside of my storage crate. Actually, I'm going to show you the other one that I made earlier. Maybe I can do that, Shireen. Ooh, it's just under your feet. Hang on, I'll grab it. So now I have twins, but you'll see if there's a difference. This one probably looks a little bit lighter in colour, do you think? Is this one lighter? I can't see from back here, but
yes,
yeah.
A little bit lighter.
So we have two rolling storage crates. I can put them, if I had a really big bed, I could use them for under bed storage. Use them in your lounge room for storing pillows, magazines, your gadgets and remote control type things, all of that. So, the winner of our... Have you found one? It's tough, isn't it?
It is tough, but I really do think that Jessie the idea of taking a change table that her dad had made.
Yes.
And then turning that into storage for her toys and books for her kids. And she's just commented again.
Yeah.
And said that once she's finished with the toys and books for her storage, it's going to be made into a pot plant holder in her sunroom.
Oh, a pot
so she
plant
can
holder.
keep some books in there and have a pot plant on the top. She said she'll never get rid of it. She'll just keep repurposing it.
That is perfect. I love it. So, Jessie, you are the winner of the Hometalk tote bag, and we'll find out, the Hometalk people will be in touch with you, ready to send that off to you. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and don't forget to subscribe to our Hometalk, because there's another Hometalk Live coming up tomorrow, and we don't want you to miss out. Share, like, subscribe, and I'd love to see you again over on my blog and my page over at I Restore Stuff. So that's all from me for today. Enjoy, go home, be inspired, and make storage stuff with all those great ideas you've had today. Thank you. Bye.